how far law enforcement will go in order to use surveillance devices known as Stingrays to catch suspected criminals. Back in 2013, the Oakland Police Department and FBI used Stingrays to find a man who was allegedly involved in the shooting. At the time, no warrant had been obtained, and since then, the agencies have been trying to hide information about how they deployed the devices. A judge has now ordered the government to formally disclose as many details as possible. RT's Brigitte Santos joins me now from Los Angeles with more. Brigitte, how do Stingrays work and how can they be deployed without a warrant?
So here's what we know so far. Now, Stingrays can be used to determine a mobile phone's location by spoofing a cell tower. In some cases, Stingrays can intercept calls and text messages. Once deployed, the devices intercept data from a target phone along with information from other phones within the vicinity. Now, in this specific case, the government argued that it did not need a warrant to find one of the 4 suspects involved in this non-fatal shooting of a police officer, this suspect being Purvis Ellis. And they say that they don't need a warrant due to exigent circumstances. Now, exigent circumstances is something that law enforcers invoke anytime they want to get around those Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures. So they invoked that here because the 4 suspects, they say, were still on the loose. Now, the person that they were using this device on, Mr. Ellis, was not identified as the shooter by the officer who survived. However, for whatever reason, he is the one that the FBI and Oakland PD used the Stingrays on. So that's what happened in this case. Now, there are many other cases where police don't get a warrant and instead they lie and say that they used a confidential source rather than admitting that they had used these devices. So there's very little known about how these are used, and the judge in this case wants to clear that up for people, despite the fact that the agency said it would not be in the public's interest to do so.
And what exactly did the disclosure reveal?
So this disclosure revealed how they were used specifically in this case, but you can imagine similar procedures that are used in other states and in other counties as well. So how the FBI deploys Stingrays is like this. So first, they call the phone carrier. Then they fill out exigent circumstances requests, or they submit a warrant if they have one. From there, they obtain a pen register or trap trace and get that subscriber information to locate the target phone. From there, they get the FBI's approval to use the Stingrays, and then they identify the target device by obtaining signal information from that phone, and then they, from there, go and find the target. Now, how Stingrays work is very interesting, as highlighted by these court documents. And they provide relative signal strength and the general direction of a subject's cell phone. It is not a GPS locator, and they must be legally configured as pen registers. And then once they're done using the Stingrays, they have to purge all of the information collected by it. They preserve the operational use of these devices so that they can be deployed quickly the next time they need to be used, Anya. So it's pretty interesting.
It really is, and I wonder what we'll learn as law enforcement is forced to share more about how they use these technologies. RT correspondent Brigitte Santos reporting from Los Angeles. Thank you so much.